the last time I came on this microphone after a game so incensed over the officiating. I freaking hate complaining about officiating. I hate it. It is so lame. It's so stupid that we have to come on here and do this. But the reality is, that's what happened in this football game. It was big call after big call after big call after big call. Missed, going the wrong direction, a touchdown because Keyshawn Nixon is clean up the middle, gets grabbed, no call. Jordan Love, smacked in the face, clear as day, no call. They showed a replay. They highlighted Amon-Ra St. Brown taking Xavier McKinney's helmet off. Clean shot to the helmet. No call. And on that last offensive possession by the Packers, that offensive pass interference was absolutely garbage. Terrible. Trash all game long. It wasn't even a pick play. Learn ball, officiators. Learn ball. It was supposed to be a screen to the opposite side. Jordan Love has to roll to his right to find Josh Jacobs. It was not in the play call for him to go pick the safety who has to come out late to the running back. These sorts of plays happen every time. And if you're going to call that one, then you have to call the one against Keyshawn Nixon late in the game. It was just not an even playing field. And I'm not going to accuse anybody of fixing matches. That part of it is stupid. This is the Hanlon's razor. Do not ascribe to malice what can be more easily explained by incompetence. The NFL officiating is just this bad.
Jeez.
Just this bad. It hasn't.
My grandpa called. He wants his sweater back.
But it has been this bad all season. For years, it has been this bad.
Yeah, I can see you've had enough. Watching Packer fans cry, priceless.
Hey, yo, the lies told that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like Lysosin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose, move on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Lion Villain Report. It is Monday. It is January the 9th. It's 2024. It is time to head into playoff football. And that is, we are heading down a stretch. Only 4 more games left to go. Right now, we are broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions Villain Squad Facebook page right now. We have crossed over 60,000 villains. I mean, it was fantastic. The ladies' man was able to watch a Thursday night football game and be able to have a couple of his lady friends over watching the game, drinking some of that. Actually, I forget what it was that I was drinking, but it was Cavaquier, and they were having shots of Jägermeister. I stuck with Cavaquier, and then these ladies, we refused not to have a good time. And thank you. What exactly is a Green Bay Packer? I'm still trying to figure this out, but thank you for 60,000 followers and hitting that like button. I appreciate that. We're also on YouTube at Lions Villain Squad. We want to put a big thanks out to Joe Chapp on his Twitter page, allowing us on there. Detroit Lions News Podcast, along with the JC Sports Network on YouTube. This episode, as most episodes, are brought to you by NFL Shop. You can use the link in the comments. Don't use the one on the YouTube. Go to the Facebook one. That one works. And then you can get up to 30% off of your order. And right now, if you want to be in that slot where the NFL Shop is, and you own a business and you live in Michigan and you love the Lions and you want to partner with the Villain Squad, get a hold of Main Event Mike at 810-620-2167. That is 810-620-2167, and find out how you can be guilty by association. And it's faith, family, and football here. We use football to spend time with our families and to create memories. We don't let football use us. And join the conversation. Join the conversation. We are the UDFA of sports podcasting. You don't have to do anything crazy to help us out. All you got to do is like this video, share this video, comment on this video, start a conversation, argue with somebody. Do that because it's fun. It's fun to argue about football because that's what we do. Monday through Saturday, right here at the Lion Villain Report. I'm going to bring on my partner in crime, though, right here. This is the guy that you can call if you want to sponsor this show. Give it up for the Emmy-nominated Main Event Mike.
Good morning, Russ. Good morning, villains.
It's like that's a lot. I get a bunch of info out in a small amount of time right there, and I really love that. I'm glad that the ladies' man finally gets a chance to make an appearance on this show. And you know what? Even the fair weather fans, they can join in. You know, they can invite their hot friends out that they want to have some relations with, and they can invite them to the football game, and it's actually a fun thing to do. You know, when you got the cool band, all the people invite their friends out, and then even the ladies' man can enjoy himself. He doesn't even know anything about football, but he can have a couple ladies over at the house, have some of that Cavaquier. And we're all good. And we're all good. So the first thing that I want to get from you before we go into anything else is I want to get your reaction to that cry video by the pathetic Locked On Packers podcast.
Yeah, what a bizarro world we live in. Packers fans crying about the referees. The Detroit Lions are 12-1 and the number one seed in the NFC. Is this real life? I mean, the Packer fans crying. Look, folks, both teams had 7 penalties. Okay, it was 7-7. The Lions got 3 extra yards in penalties than the Packers. We were at home. Sometimes you get calls. All of my life, the Packers have been getting the calls their way. I don't feel sorry for you. I think it's hilarious. Take the L, move on. You're still going to the playoffs. After we beat you the first time, your lineman said, yeah, we're going to see you again. We're going to see you again. And Jared Goff says, yeah, dummy, we're in the same division. We're going to see each other again. And now after this game, they say, we're going to see you again. We'll see you in the playoffs. Well, if you do, that'll probably be in Ford Field. So keep on crying. Take it with you into next season because I don't think you're going to be coming back to Ford Field this year.
I was debating because I haven't actually. This is like in 1 hour's worth of crying. I was just thinking about just in tribute to the Green Bay Packers, we're just gonna have a constant baby crying, and it would just kind of be like my life, you know.
I'm just sad that someone left a baby in a wet diaper for a full hour so they could get a YouTube clip out of it. This clip brought to you by Desitin.
Oh, Mike. Oh, that is good. Oh, that is good. We have there's a couple of things that well, first of all, I haven't even acknowledged my peeps yet right here. Good morning, let me get this thing in here so I don't have a good sound effect. You'll be able to kind of hear my sound effects because I had to just kind of like play it and hold my speaker up there, you know. You know, like that. So good morning, Henry Gray. Good morning to Tavy. Good morning, Scotty Reno.
Scotty Reno.
Oh, there's the YouTube page right there. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube page, head on over there and do that because, you know, we're crazy football talker guys. And that's what we like, is talking about football. And we talk about football on our YouTube, and you can go subscribe to it at Lions Villain Squad. Good morning, Dwayne. And I love these ones right here. Let's go. Detroit Lions won Pride Kings with the North Division champion title. All grit, never back down. 12-1. It makes me think of like the Karate Kid sequence. Da-na-na, da-na-na, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Never back down.
Around.
Yeah, I don't know what any of the words are right there. Somebody help me out. Maurice, good morning. It feels good to be 12-1. I predicted 12 wins for the season, and I didn't predict 12 wins with 4 games left. Like, that's crazy. Oh, Chad's in the house. My favorite Bigfoot hunter.
No,
we got Elise Memes up in the house. What up? Happy Monday, villains. It's a great day to be a Lions fan. Yeah, there you go. And then FTP Fred. Good morning, all. It's a great day to be a Lion. There you go. Ken Fisher up in the house. John up in the house. And if I say your name twice, that's okay. And then Jeremy B. Good morning, villains. It's great to see Packer fans acting like SOL fans. And it's weird. It's weird. When I was looking at this, and I'm just like, they're throwing up all these posts about, they can overturn the rule. You know, they can change the outcome of the game. Roger Goodell can do that. I'm like, why the hell would he do that? It was just a contested football game. And they're all blown out of proportion on a game that was called pretty even down the middle. Like, are you crying about a pick play? You know, you're not allowed to do that. It doesn't matter if we didn't intend to run a route. Well, you ran into a guy and impeded him from, and you're not running a route. You can at least pretend like you're running a route. And then maybe they won't call it on that, but they're going to call that every single time. It wasn't a bad call. It was the right call. You know, I wanted to bitch about Terrion Arnold PI. You know, it may have been a ticky-tack call, but it was still pass interference in the end zone on Terrion Arnold on 3rd down on a big play in the middle of the game. I thought the Frank Ragnell holding call was a very ticky-tack call, and that might have made that drive end up different, and they ended up getting a field goal, or I don't know if they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive anyway. But the thing is, they miss stuff all the time. You know, I did think that there were some ticky-tack calls in that game, but it wasn't like they were all on the Lions. You know, like every single one in the Lions benefited from it. The Lions got hosed on a couple calls in that game too. And then when it came down to it, like Mike said, 7 penalties, 7 penalties. Are we really crying about 4 penalty yards in an entire game? That changed the outcome of the game? It didn't have anything to do with the fact that you couldn't stop our offense. It didn't have nothing to do with that. It didn't have anything to do with the fact that a bunch of backups that came in on Friday that were bagging groceries last week came in and played an effective defensive game in the first half. Had nothing to do with that. It's all the refs, huh?
Yeah. Let's face it, their first touchdown drive, six runs, 1 pass, 3 penalties. That was their first touchdown drive was all penalties all the way down the field.
Yep. So, it's a contested game, and it's like when it comes down to it, we've been talking about this, and I got a feeling I'm going to be able to keep this graphic for a little bit right here. But big time players make big plays in the biggest moments, and when it comes down to it, I don't care if Jared Goff fell down. I don't care if he did a pirouette to hand the ball off. The fact of the matter is, on the biggest play of the game and the biggest moment, they rushed for 7 yards. There was a whole bunch of dodge, duck, parry, turn, thrust, jab, whole bunch of stuff that happened, but it came down to a moment. It came down to a moment where you could have stopped us from getting an inch. And you could have had the ball back tied with the chance to win if you would have been in that biggest moment and show the clutch gene when it matters. And when it matters, we got 7 yards when we needed an inch, and the game was over. That's the story of the game. That's it. That's it. In the biggest moments, we executed, and they didn't.
Right. I love J Mommy's comment over there. You're going to sit there and complain about the refs? Why don't you complain about your team being 1 for 5 on third down? Mm-hmm. 1 for 5 on third down. And if you take away all the penalties you had on third down, that's even bigger. The only thing that bailed you out in this game was the referees.
I mean, look at that. 7 for 59 yards, 7 for 56 yards. We're talking about 3 yards of penalties right here. And I can think of 2 questionable calls on both sides. If you want to complain about that pick play, I'm going to complain about the Ragnow hold. Or I'm going to complain about that PI in the end zone on Terrion. Because if you're telling me that pick play was a bullshit penalty call, then I'm going to tell you that the Terrion Arnold call in the end zone was a bullshit call. Because that's a wash, because they're both calls that could have been called or they could not have been called, and both plays were called. And you got to accept it.
There was a face mask on Jahmyr Gibbs on an 8-yard run as well. Would have been 15 yards from the end of the play. They didn't call that. It was blatant. Yep. Turned his head around. And
you want to hit Amon-Ra St. Brown for knocking off a face mask? Well, if you remember earlier in that game, if you remember him getting shoved down and there was a no call? And I think that was Jair Alexander that did that. Do you know what the referees did in this game? Which is something I was really happy with, was for the most part, they let him play. With the exception of a drive where, assisted by, they had 3 penalties on it. There was only 4 other penalties that were called in that game on them. So they let them play for the most part. They let the wide receivers and the cornerbacks do the hand fighting thing and be in a physical game, be in a rivalry game. They let people shove a little bit after the plays were over. And I'm sorry, but I watched that play with his face mask. That looked more like you loosened your face mask strap to try to draw that, because there wasn't enough forcible contact from that shove to knock somebody's helmet off. That takes a lot of force to shove somebody's helmet off. And
I don't know about that call.
Well, I know that's what Aaron Rodgers did on their Hail Mary that we can't bitch about because screw you and the refs. Because that's somebody that hit their shoulder pad, but somehow the face mask turned around. How does that happen, Mike? How does that happen unless you loosen your chin strap?
I'm not. I watched. They showed that replay over and over. That definitely looked like it was a penalty that was missed, in my opinion.
Okay, so they missed some penalties in the play. So do you agree with, should they overturn the game, Mike?
If they do, we got a lot of them to go back in history and rewrite the history book for.
Right. So that's my point is like, yeah, you can miss some plays, but the thing is I can sit over here and I can justify it on my side if I want to be a homer. So if you want to overanalyze Packer fan, you want to go through every single play and you want to find every single penalty that was missed and everything, we can do that too. Or we can just justify all of our penalties. Yeah, he probably loosens his chin strap. Maybe they saw that. Maybe they got him back. Maybe they let Green Bay get away with one on Amon-Ra St. Brown earlier in the game. And then when it happened this time, they let him be chippy. Maybe they just missed it. Maybe they were maybe Sheila Ford went out and started paying off some referees. It's finally here, Mike.
Finally.
We got a Jerry Jones. We're gonna go pay off the referees. We're gonna win some football games, Mike.
Finally, some of that Ford money paying off. This really is sad the way these Packer fans are acting. It really is comical. As we said, Green Bay 1 for 5 on third down. That's your real problem. And also the Lions 7 for 15 on third down. You couldn't get your defense off the field. You want to know the most impressive stat of all of them is at the very, very bottom. 36 minutes in time of possession to 24 minutes of time of possession. You're talking about a difference of almost a full quarter. And it was a 3-point game. Have your defense get off the field next time, and you won't have to complain about the referees.
Absolutely. And we're sitting here, and we're looking at the real reasons right there. And one of the other things I wanted to bring up here is these player stats right here. All these guys want to say, well, look at Josh Jacobs. Like, he only averaged 3.7 yards a carry in the game. He got the 3 touchdowns, but let me bring up the biggest difference here. And if you didn't see this on Saturday, this is the biggest difference between our running games right here, right? We only had, like maybe 90 yards worth of rushing right there, 2.9 yards a carry. They really stopped our rushing game. They did a good job at stopping our running game, but what they didn't stop was our passing game. 5 catches for 33 yards for David Montgomery and 6 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, the biggest difference between these running backs, wow, I don't even see a receiving stat on there for Josh Jacobs. So the Lions find ways to get it done. They couldn't get it done on the ground. And this right here, this receiving stat right here, when you look at the plethora of that, 6 receivers with more than 5 catches. That's never been done in history, for one. And when I see this stat, this is the stat right there that makes me think that our offense is unstoppable, Mike. Because if you could ask me, like, what could be the recipe that the Lions could lose, is you got to stop the run game first, and then you got to put it on Goff's shoulders. But with Tim Patrick, Amon-Ra St. Brown, all these different receivers right here, this is the result of being stopped.
Can I break it down right here for you, Russ? The real story in this game also is Ben Johnson against Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator of the Packers. The game within the game, folks. Jeff Hafley converted this defense from a 3-4 to a 4-3. Does anyone know why the 4-3 fell out of prominence in the NFL? It was because of the San Francisco 49ers and the West Coast offense. Linebackers weren't quick enough to get outside and cover Roger Craig and these guys on the outside. So a lot of teams around the NFL converted to a 3-4 with linebackers with good lateral quickness to shut down the West Coast offense. Coming into this game, those stats, can you put those stats back up there again, Russ? Look at these receiving totals by the running backs from the Detroit Lions. This was the game plan, folks. Are you listening, villains? We have a mega mind over there calling the plays. This whole game plan was to execute against their deficiencies, against Green Bay's deficiencies. passes out of the backfield, motion, some of the disguises in the setups and the sets that the Lions were in, and some of the pre-snap motion that the Lions were running had Green Bay so confused. Whoa, what's going on here? This wasn't on tape. You get over there. You get over there. Hike. And then they played that against us because we had so many new guys, and they got a touchdown in the game because we weren't set on defense. They hurried up to the line. But it was our formations and pre-snap motions that were giving them fits. And then what they think is coming is not coming. It looks like a run, and it's a pass out of the backfield. They went old school West Coast offense style against a 4-3, what's worked for the last 40 years against a 4-3, and they exploited that weakness, and they held on, and Jake Bates was steady 2 for 2. So gotta love it. That's the real story of the game.
Absolutely, man. And it's been weird. It's going to be kind of nice to get back to our regular scheduled programming after these Thursday games. Kind of throws everything for a loop. We normally do PFF Tuesdays, and I mean, I can go over some PFF scores tomorrow and everything, but I did that on Saturday for 2 weeks in a row because of the Thursday game. See, the way I like to look at PFF is, you know, I believe in looking at the game with my eyes first and allowing PFF to justify some of the things that I actually saw in the game, because so many people will just look at these numbers and just go, well, that's what it is. And it's like, no, you still got to look at the game within the game. You got to see where the game script was in certain spots. And then that way you can understand why they did some of these things. But this telling stat right here, this is something that's going to be tough for other teams to stop in the future. I mean, what are you going to do about that? And I really believe that it comes from Tim Patrick. I think Tim Patrick makes the extra hole when you're talking about spacing in the offense. You know, you got 3 wide receivers running in different directions. You got the running backs coming out, and then you got 2 receiving type of tight ends. You can perfectly space an offense to where there's not anything they're going to be able to do about it, especially if they're dedicating guys to stop the run. That has to leave voids. And Ben Johnson, like you said, he finds those voids wherever that is, and then just runs guys into there. And they got a guy, Amon-Ra, you got Jamison Williams, you got Tim Patrick, you got Laporta, and both these backs running out of the backfield. You could put people into a trick bag. And this is the result of them stopping our run. 3.6 yards, 2.9 yards a carry. They stopped our run game. And this is the result. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you knew this, but our running backs can catch the ball too. So it's like, what are you going to do about it? It's fun. It's a fun time to be a Lion fan because we're usually trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to get past this or that of this next team? And this is going to be the test, though. Like, it's here, Mike. War games. We passed the first test. Had 10 days. Had 10 days of rest. Got to a little mini bye, but maybe facing the toughest challenge to date going in and trying to face these Buffalo Bills. And I know that you may have something going on with that tonight. Are you doing a review tonight, Mike?
We are going to do a preview of the Buffalo game tonight at 7 p.m. on the Main Event Football Show. Buffalo lose last night in Los Angeles in a shootout, 44-42 to the Rams. You know, the Bills have beaten the Chiefs. They've won 8. They had won 8 games in a row. And then they go out to LA on the road across the country and score 42 points, but it wasn't enough. So this team is dangerous. Okay. 42 points wasn't enough. Josh Allen is him. We already know that. But you know what? You're coming into Ford Field and you can't run on the Detroit Lions. Again, the streak continues. Only 99 yards by the Packers, 1 yard shy. We did not give up that 100 yards. When I saw that in the box score the next day, I was so happy. So happy that we did not surrender, because with the 3 touchdowns and the 3.6 yard average, I said, oh, I'm sure he's got 100 yards, doggone it. Nope, 99 yards combined, the entire team. So we keep the whole team under 100 yards. I think we're going to do that again to the Buffalo Bills unless Josh Allen runs crazy on us.
Yeah, I mean, here we are. It's like in a spot where it's the best teams in the NFL. And the thing is like, I believe that the Packers really dropped the ball where they really could have just gotten to this space where we are just realizing some things here. You know, I'm not going to take any credit away from the Green Bay Packers. As a matter of fact, I think that they might have an argument to be a top 5 team in the NFL. In the NFL, you could make that argument right now just based off of what you've seen. You know, the losses that they do have. They have 2 losses to us and a loss to Minnesota. When you think about that. You know, I don't. What was the other team? They lost to one other
Philadelphia,
team.
opening game of the season in Brazil.
So basically, every single one of the toughest teams in the NFL, they're coming down to the wire on most of these games. I mean, Minnesota kind of beat their ass, but here we are. This is like the war week. The war week, and I think that the Green Bay Packers might actually be where they should be, which is 3rd place in this division. I don't think they're better than the Lions because they're not. And I don't think that they're better than the I don't think that they're good. Let the butthurt flow through you. Come on, Mike. Get him.
Yeah. Let the butthurt flow through Green Bay.
But this is weird times. It's like I enjoy a good smack talk. You know, I do, but I'm also sympathetic too, because the Lions have been in this spot. You know, and I'm not saying that Green Bay's bad or anything like that, but just losing a couple games. Could you imagine that team just being like 7-10? Like they would lose their minds in Green. They wouldn't even know what to do. They would feel like the world, you know, was flat. Nobody told them about it. You know, like. What's going on? 7-10. They wouldn't know what to do. Half of their fan base would abandon ship because none of them that are new have any. They don't know anything about losing. You know, if you're under 30 years old and you're a Packer fan, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. Maybe Mark Elmore. You know, there's a couple of the old heads that were in there when they, you know, old school that might have actually been there in those the glory years and actually went through that 30-year drought like the Lions just went through, that they actually went through that. But there's only a couple of the old heads that are left like that. Most of the Green Bay Packer fans would jump off a boat. God, jump off the boat. You guys suck. I'm out of here. I'm not even going to watch. I'm going to watch the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, we'll go watch basketball. You know, abandon ship. And Lions fans, it's like we just been waiting in a foxhole for 30 years. You know, like, wow, we're going to get our chance eventually. And then we just have such a good sports town around here. We just kind of got used to losing and divided our fan base into the SOL hate the team thing, but we still had fans no matter what, even though half of the fans wore paper bags. They wore paper bags because they're fans, because they're so sick of losing. And it's like, I want to back a winner. But I don't have the heart to switch teams. I'm going to watch some other team now. Some team people did that, but we deserve this. We waited and waited and waited, but these Packer fans, you guys are in for a rude awakening. Just to be, God, average would seem like it would be the end of the world for a Green Bay Packer fan, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, doesn't it seem like that? I mean, this is like an outcry. This isn't even that bad of a refereeing thing. They can't even really point to like a specific play that they hate or that could have overturned the game or something like that. You know, I mean, it was a tie game. It's like, what would a penalty have even done for you? Like you would have had a lead and we would have had a chance to win, and you might have had a chance to send it to overtime, or I mean, what are we even talking about here? What was the chance? Where's the, with the Dallas game, you want to say Decker reported, you can point to that play. Oh, you messed up. You messed up on this play. That cost us the game, right? That one play did. What's the play that screwed us over? That screwed them over that they're talking about that would have made them win.
You're right. There's not a play. It's not like that Sam Darnold face mask in the end zone,
right,
that didn't get called, and you can point at that, right? I mean, that's such a good call out.
I mean, you can't like this overturn the game. What? How do you justify handing Green Bay the win? Like, let's just say they could enact it. What do they call that in Braveheart? The enacta forum, where we're going to enact this rule. We're going to screw Detroit one more time. So what are we screwing it to? What's the final score? What's the play that you want overturned that gives you the win? Help me out, Green Bay Packer fan. I want to understand this, because, when it came with that Dallas game, you can look at a blatant pass interference that they picked up a flag. You can look at that play and you can point to that play. You can point to the face mask in the Minnesota game. You can point to, if you want to, the field goal where they let the guy do the illegal move to block the field goal for the Bears.
Right.
And so what are we talking about?
On the flip side of that was, if the Lions would have lost this game, it would be easy to point to things. Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down in his own 30-yard line, right? So it would be easy to look and go, wow, that's a determining factor of why we lost the game. Other than the referees, I don't think the Packers have a single thing in this game that they can point to.
I keep on seeing Steve. It's like the Lion fans.
Yeah.
They like to make excuses. So all of our Lions guys are going after Steve, and he just keeps on saying, we can beat the Lions. We can beat the Lions. And you know what it reminds me of? It's because you can't beat the Lions. Like, you're what? Like, 5 out of the last 6 went to the Lions. So Dan Campbell pretty much owns Matt LaFleur at this point. Like, they got to figure something out. We don't. You can't beat us the way that we are. But it reminds me of that Monty Python deal where he keeps on chopping off parts of his body, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm still here. Let's do it. We can beat you."
No,
it's not.
Well, I got to pivot real here quick, because a new nickname for the Detroit Lions defense has emerged. I don't know where it came from. The first time I've ever seen it is right here in our chat from Jay-Z, who says, Craig Netflix wrote to the Legion of Whom. Where did this come from, Jay-Z? Did you make this? Did you create this nickname? Or tell me where you got it from, because I have to give credit to whoever it was that came up with that. It's a wonderful nickname because it's a bunch of no-name dudes from the practice squad, from other practice squads. The Legion of Whom has been born.
Nameless, faceless. We could put paper bags over their heads.
The Legion of Whom? That's the greatest.
No, but like, if Elise was making it, the Legion of Whom, you just put a whole bunch of the defensive guys out there that nobody knows and just put paper bags over their heads.
The Legion of Whom? Oh, Jay-Z says he saw it in a comment on a video.
It's beautiful. That's a beautiful cop.
Well, I'm sure it'll be Jeremy's. We'll give the credit to Jeremy.
Oh man, it's like, Russell, I thought our rule of thumb was we don't cry or complain unless we won the game, and they should follow the same suit. No, they don't get that part of it. That's one thing I've indoctrined to the show to help protect my mind space when it comes with complaining about I refuse to ever say the referees cost us a game. I even went back on the Decker reported thing, and like you have to look at the situation, right? I think it was a bad call, but the thing was, Dan Campbell still had a choice at the end of the game. So unless the play is directly responsible for the absolute last play of the game, and it was one way and their call made it another way, then that's it. And in that situation, after the penalty was called, Dan Campbell still had a choice that he could have played for overtime. You know, you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. And he's learning those lessons. Yeah, he's learning those lessons, but sometimes I don't think it matters. But in that situation, I think that he should have lived to fight another day. You had a choice after that. You played your hand, right? You played your hand, and it's like, what do they say? Don't chase your losses. Don't chase your losses down that rabbit hole. But I can get it all back, right? Don't do that, Dan. Like, I love the aggressiveness. And as a matter of fact, I will back you up on every single call. Even the one on our side. Because if they would have gotten that first down, they would have been in control of the clock for another 3-4 minutes, and they would have had a chance to really put the game away, especially if they would have gotten another touchdown. They had every right to go for every one of those things. And plus, he told his offense, hey, we got a bunch of new guys on defense. The offense is going to have to carry the game. Anything inside 4th and 3, we are going for it. I don't care where we're at. Okay, coach. They were ready for it. They were ready to do it. And we can't do that thing. They were 4 for 5 on 4th down. We are not allowed. I'm trying to help everybody here. We are not allowed to go into the one time that it didn't work and go, well, that one. But it worked the 4 times. You didn't complain. Right? You can't go into the 5th time and go, well, but not that one. Hey, Mike, they shouldn't have did that one. They should have only did the ones that worked.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's it. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Steve feels like he's being attacked, Russ.
Hey, Steve, you're like, I have more than one child. And when you have more than one child, you're very, very used to this thing. You can't go into the comments, Steve, after a loss. You've lost 5 of 6. So Lions fans are logical. So when you come in and say, we can beat the Lions. We can beat the Lions. When the Lions are like, nope. And you have the burden of proof. What do you expect people to do, Steve? Do you feel like you're being attacked? Then stop saying dumb shit. Don't say dumb stuff. Nobody's attacking you personally.
We appreciate you, Steve, for sure.
We do.
100%. You're the best Packers fan there is. And we've been beat down for years, Steve. So you have to forgive us if we don't know how to handle
this. Is why people are attacking you. Yeah, I mean, you're like I said, I have kids. So when the kid goes over there and you go, I'm not touching you. 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 Like, have some humility. Say, hey, man, the better team won. Because I was definitely prepared to do that on Friday, like I do on every single loss, is to give the other team credit and to not make excuses for my team and take the loss like a man. Take the loss like a man. I appreciate it. The Lions can beat every team in the NFL. How about that? The Lions can beat you. The Lions can beat the Bills. The Lions can beat the Chiefs. The Lions can beat everybody. We're going to win the Super Bowl. We can do that too, Steve. I love Steve. He's going to keep going. I know he will. So that's what I'm trying to egg him on. I'm trying to help him get some extra energy. He's trying to get a second wind, The Lions are going to be facing a defense that just gave up 44 points. It's going to be interesting. Steve who? Oh, you guys.
And I don't really understand this. You may have to explain this one to me. I'm like Cody Rhodes.
I think he said Cody Fodes. Yeah, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Jerry says Cody Folds.
Cody Folds.
I got an interview here at 11, though. I got to jump off real quick. I want to run by our Week 14 predictions. There were only 12 games on the slate. There's one more tonight. That's Cincinnati at Dallas, plus 5.5 points. We will review that tonight on the Main Event Football Show at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, hosted by yours truly. I hope you'll all tune in. There were 12 games on the slate this weekend, and I'll give you a quick update of how we fared. Russell Wayne went 7-5 out of 12. Pretty respectable when you consider there were a lot of upsets this week. There was a lot of tough picking this week. I went 4-8. And Dwayne Keene went 5 of 7. 5-7 out of 12. So 5 wins for Dwayne, 4 wins for me, 7 wins for the Swami. A chance to get 8 wins tonight, Cincy and Dallas. We will be picking that game tonight on the Main Event Football Show. I'm Main Event Mike. Follow me on all social media at Main Event Mike, MANE. I'll see everybody later tonight. Peace out.
You like that? You like that? You like Main Event Mike? You like him coming in there? You like him on Monday night? You can depend on it. You can depend on it.
It won't let me leave. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. It won't let you leave, Mike. That means that you gotta throw some more opinions in there. One other thing, I'm going to promote that for tonight. Mike's going to be talking about the Lions versus the Bills. If you're going to talk about a game, you're going to talk about the game of the week. And if Christopher Walken was here, he'd be saying the Lions and the Bills could be one of the best games. But like Jay Mommy says, they gave up a lot of points to the Rams. So with the Lions offense, I don't expect their defense to be able to stop us. But you can find out more. The Lions Villain Report. It's at 10 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it. It could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life. 5 touchdown passes. How dare you? How dare you doubt Sam Darnold? Come on. The city of Minneapolis is on my back. We will continue to maintain. We are coming for you, Detroit Lions. Week 18. We're going to take back our title. Ah! Oh, man. Steve's there no matter what. I am 8-4, depending on tonight. I could go 9-4 or 8-5. Interesting. It's interesting that you see you and Mike differ on your opinion. It looked like Mike said that you were 4-8, Dwayne. I don't know. He usually keeps track of that stuff pretty good. Broski has only shown up once since you called him out. Hey, and that's the thing. This is why I appreciate Steve, because I don't go easy on these guys. I don't go easy on anybody that comes in here and talks trash. I'm especially not going to go easy on people because here's the thing that you have to realize is you aren't allowed to use excuses to go and ghost the villain. Like, I don't listen to, personal problems, and I think it's classless if you throw personal problems up here as your excuse not to make it, because your personal problems didn't stop you from cramming up my training camp shows, coming in every day, talking trash about my team, which is fine. I don't care if you talk trash, but I respect people that can talk trash, and then when they're found out to be wrong, they can at least come in and give credit where credit is due, and they don't bail on their team when times are tough or make excuses of why they're all of a sudden not coming on your show. So the top reasons to ghost the villain is simply your team didn't get it done against my team after I talked all of that trash. That's the main reason. That's the main reason. You can say, oh, I don't like the way that he talked to me. Oh, he's such a hypocrite. Oh, he doesn't know anything about football. All of those things are fine, but it comes down to you're crying. You're crying. And when your team wins, you get it. In my opinion, you get a chance to run around for 10 days or 7 days, waving around your metaphorical ding-ding. And you're allowed to talk trash about the teams that you just beat. You're allowed to do that. And if my team just got beat, somebody wants to come in and talk trash about my team should have gotten it done. More power to you. Yeah, it makes me mad, but that's trash talk. So, I don't know where everybody has been, and I'm sure when they come back, you know, they're going to tell me how their, you know, mom's sister's cousin's brother's hamster died, and they had to console their family, and they were being a wonderful person to somebody else while they were ghosting my show, and my show's not important. So, and I'm okay with that. But it all comes back to faith, family, and football, which means that I love my brothers and sisters. It's just a game. That's the main thing. That's why I love trash talking so much when it comes to it's just a game. I don't have to hate the person or your poor taste in football teams. It's okay. And I don't expect everybody to have my attitude towards it. But faith, family, then football helps me keep it in perspective. I always put my faith first, and then my family, and then my football team. And that still makes football pretty important to me. But I use football to spend time with my family and to create memories. I don't let football use me. I mean, we've went through some hard times here in Detroit. And we're going to cover it. We're going to cover it. Every single thing that comes out. And what do you think about Dan Campbell and his gambling? Is it going to cost us again? Or is Dan's aggressiveness going to be what puts us over the top to finally get that Lombardi trophy? Fun fact, from 1969 to 1990 or 1988, the Packers were the worst team in football, led by Dan the Magic Man. And that's true. And I do remember part of that. What else do we got on here? That should really look at the Packers' third down conversion percentage. Pathetic. Yeah, that the Lions come in and they make the big plays in the big moments. DC Comics. I love it. I love it. Their defense could not stop us 4 out of 5 times on fourth down. Blame the defense, Packer fan. Land of misfit toys. Oh, I think I might have went back too far. Thanks for your input. Yep. Okay, there's the Mike Love. There's Mike Love. How many games has the ref taken from us, even during the Packers games in the past? The thing is like, I don't even want to acknowledge that question, Ken. And it's not anything personal with you. It's because I don't want to acknowledge this as a game that was taken. This game was not taken from the Packers. The Packers got outplayed in every way, and they lost. They lost the game. So the referees have taken quite a few games away from the Lions. And this should not be in this conversation. This was a contested game that came down to the wire and we won. It came down to a 4th down call where the Lions got 7 yards on a play they needed an inch. So they got that inch. They got that inch to seal the game, to make a very smart move, by the way. You're really going to put the ball back into the hands of Jordan Love, who's been torching this 2nd string defense that we have out there? 3rd string, 5th string. We got guys that just played on the defense for like a week. You know, you want to put the game into the hands of the people that have been here for a week. It's a brilliant 4th down call. You should be happy that you got a coach that's trying to keep the ball away from a quarterback like Jordan Love, who has the ability to move the ball down the field. It's nice to know that we have a coach that can outcoach. And it is a surprise that the Vikings are 10-2. It's not surprising to me that they're good. But 10-2 good is that part is surprising. But I told everybody at the beginning that the best thing that could have happened to them was Sam Darnold and not J.J. McCarthy as a rookie. All right, one other thing that I want to go over before we get done here, and I know that it's 10:59, we're getting to the end, is Hutchinson is ahead of schedule. And they're now talking like this could be the NFC Championship game that he could be back, or possibly even sooner than that. That's crazy to me. What do you think about that? I'm a little head over heels on that. Because to me, and don't like miss me with, but I want to make sure that he heals up all the way. Miss me with that, because we're making that assumption. We're going to make the assumption that we are not going to bring Hutchinson back before he is ready. Now, with that being said, if you could get him back by the NFC Championship game, that would be amazing. I have no idea if you could get him back by the divisional game, but all I know is you got a 2-week ramp up to get ready. And if you win the 1 seed. So it comes down to this team. Like, I know that there's not a lot of teams that win from the 1 seed. I realize that usually, a team can come in and a team isn't ready, coming in off of that bye, and they usually get upset in that game. But that's not the Lions team. The Lions need this bye just for, health reasons, right? You want to be able to get some of these guys back, or maybe give them an extra week to heal up them bones and get ready for this playoff push. You've got to win 3 games at least, if not 4. So, Stafford was wearing his Lions jersey under his Rams jersey, LOL. Because Broski was hating, that's why we were right about them Lions and the Bears. I thought that the Bears would show more against the 49ers than they did. Boot to the head for Packers. Lions 38, Bills 35. I mean, I could see that game being really close. I mean, I watched that Bills defense yesterday, and the Lions are going to be able to run points We're going to be able to score on those guys at will. The Bills' defense isn't as good as the Packers' defense. So, the Lions should have a much, our offensive linemen, let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's go make an example out of these guys. Let's go push them around. Let's be more physical than them. I don't think they can be more physical than us. So, play as a family, work as a team. Great show. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, I love and respect all you guys in here. That's another reason why I'm here. To talk football. I'm like facing the flood line. Hey, you play the heel role well, and I'm glad that you have the right attitude about it. No, I hear what the players are saying. I'm prepping. It's prepping the team to win or go home scenarios. That's why we learn how to not make those mistakes. High pressure situations. Let's see what else we got in here. All right. I watched the Bills game also, and I thought I was done rooting for Stafford. Yeah, I think that we're going to get the best version of the Bills for this reason. They're going to come in here and they want that one seed in the AFC too. And, down the stretch, this is such a brutal schedule for the Lions down the stretch. So they got one out of the way. They got Green Bay out of the way. They ain't got to face Green Bay. You got the Buffalo Bills, and it looks like the Bears are laying down, and they're not really trying hard anymore. They're not trying to win games. And that's too bad. But there's still, 2 other games on there, 3 other games on before the end of the season. That Vikings game might have some juice. That might be for the marbles right there at Ford Field. Kudos to the Vikings. You got to give the Vikings credit. The Vikings are the second best team, maybe in the NFL. I really believe that the Lions are the best team. I believe they're a team of destiny. I can't believe how well Aaron Glenn can coach this roster. And he's just, continuing to overcome injuries. Doesn't even matter who he throws out there. They got pressure with who? Yeah. The Legion of who? So, with all that being said, I'm digging it. It's a great time to be a Lions fan. Don't forget to join Main Event Mike tonight for the Main Event Football Show at 7 p.m. right here on this network, on the YouTube page, and Joe Chap's Twitter. This is the Lion Villain Report. You join me Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. Make sure you follow the Facebook page right there. And the ladies' man is willing to greet you right there at the counter and say thank you for 60,000 followers. We should enjoy watching Detroit Lions football contests on our television screens, drinking a nice warm kavaki. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Lions Villain Squad. We're the UDFA of sports podcasting right there. Thank you, everybody, for watching the broadcast today. I'm going to take off out of here. I appreciate you guys, especially the live crew. my live crew every day. Love you guys. I love you guys. And we had, well, I think it was Saturday's show had over 7,000 views on it, and that was beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm so glad to know that we have so many rabid Lions fans that are out there that they would actually watch this program. That's why we're the undrafted free agents. We're working our way up. We're learning. We're learning as we go, but we do enjoy the Lions, and we enjoy our live crew. You know, the 50 to 100 people that come on here and engage every single day, like Jay Mommy and John and Adam. I love you guys, man. I love you guys for sticking it out all the way through. Smoking Jeremy P, you know, and even Steve. I love you guys. It wouldn't be anything without you guys. It really is. So it's faith, family, then football, man. We're kind of like a little football family. We use football to spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. We use football to create memories. We don't let football use us. And the blessing over your life. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. In Jesus' name, amen. 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 We're going to see you guys tonight. Please don't forget to stop by for the Main Event Football Show with Main Event Mike tonight. And I love you guys, man. I love it. I love it. So take care, and I'll see you guys in a few hours. Peace and love. We out.
Hey yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, candles open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity.